Give me an example of the next title.
A Geyser of Love, a national park romance.
Geyser of Love!
Hey everybody, welcome to Girls Gone Hallmark. I'm Megan and I'm a lifelong Hallmark movie fan.
And I'm Wendy, and in contrast to Megan, I would participate in an avalanche experiment.
Demonstration.
I'm tired right now.
You are not burying me in snow. I do not care if it is a pre-made snow cake. I do not care if you're standing right outside of it. There's no logic here. I'm not doing it.
Did you see like the ice blocks that they...
I did, and I'm still not doing it. Today, we're discussing Love in Glacier National, a national park romance and original movie on the Hallmark Channel. If you want to connect with us outside of the podcast, we'd love for you to follow us on Instagram. Chat with us over there. You can follow us. We are at Girls Gone Hallmark and also at Megan and Wendy.
Yeah, or jump into our Facebook group, Girls Gone Hallmark. I would like to shout out one of the members, if that's okay with you.
Oh, yes.
New member Mike. Always bringing the funny.
Coming in hot. The group had a lot to say about this movie today.
I know.
Before we give you all of our thoughts and opinions on Love in Glacier National, a national park romance, a title that is entirely too long, let's talk Hallmark.
All right, go ahead.
First up, production wrapped on the first Christmas movie that we are aware of. A Biltmore Christmas, filmed on location in Asheville, North Carolina, starring Christopher Palaha and Bethany Joy Lenz.
I was wondering, they're not going to put that out in July, right? Nah, they're going to save that for...
I think they'll save it.
I think they'll save it too.
Those are two big names.
Yes, I had a feeling it was wrapping because Keith Nielsen, who does the costumes, had posted something on Instagram and it said like day 14. And I messaged him and I was like, oh, you must be close. And he's like, today's the last day.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to that one. I hope it doesn't disappoint.
No, I think it's going to be great.
Good. Hallmark stars Wes Brown, Ashely Williams, Tyler Hines, and Andrew Walker all descended on Sundance Film Festival. Did I just say festival?
You did.
They were at the Sundance Film Festival for a Hallmark-sponsored event promoting network and female filmmaking, an initiative called Make Her Mark. Have you heard anything about it?
Nothing.
Really? Nothing at all?
No.
So back in August of last year, Forbes had published like an announcement of the Make Her Mark program, which basically it serves to get more women behind the camera. And the initiative was the brainchild of one Ms. Ashely Williams.
Nice.
Yeah. So I had saw that she was like sending out like these like PR packages to some of the Hallmark people and like the Hallmark stars, not like influencers.
Sure.
And it was like these cute little PR.
You're like, where's ours?
I would love, seriously. We have a P.O. box, Ashely, if you want to send us one. But it was like really cute promoting it. And hey, I'm here for it. I put more women behind the camera. Let's make more films.
I was just going to say, I would give Ashely Williams our personal addresses.
Oh, would you?
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, they were all there having a good time.
What was that?
An earthquake? An avalanche, perhaps?
Okay. Allie Sweeney cryptically references filming a murder mystery movie that she can't say more about yet. She's previously starred in Murder, She Baked and The Chronicles mysteries, and when asked if there could be another mystery on the horizon, she said yes, but that's all she can say. She's currently working on it. So keep your ears open.
Two things. Have you ever watched any of her mystery movies?
No.
Okay. Second thing. I cannot stand it when they tease and then can't talk about the movies. I would prefer the coverage like we've seen with the Biltmore movie.
Absolutely. I don't know why they hold that. Like, let us build up the hype. Get excited.
Hyped. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Huh. So that's interesting. I mean, I would probably watch it. Maybe.
Yeah, you would.
Because now apparently we review every movie on the Hallmark Channel and HM&M now.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I have some viewership news for everybody who's been waiting for it. This is for the Wedding Veil Journey. This was with Allie Sweeney and Leo. It was the most watched cable program behind sports.
Nice.
2.3 million live viewers.
Hanging in there, Hallmark.
Yeah, I mean, they just slay in January.
Well, speaking of Hallmark viewership, next weekend kicks off Love-uary with 4 new Hallmark movies and the return of the Curious Caterer franchise to Hallmark Movies and Mysteries with the grilling season installment. And I am sorry to say, but Hallmark Movies and Mysteries will remain on the Girls Gone Hallmark calendar for February.
For sure. Like Tom and Goldy for me, like I just super into their like hot chemistry. I have questions about Love-uary.
Yes.
Have you seen any previews?
Well, I'm going to say that I'm not jumping out of my seat for joy for any of these Hallmark movies.
I feel the same way.
But I will tell you that my first impression is not always accurate, so maybe they will surprise me.
I know. I gotta say, I did see the sneak peek for the Sweeter Than Chocolate with Pinstripe.
Yes.
Which we're just always going to call him Pinstripe. Dan Janote, is that how you say his name?
Janot?
That guy. Yeah. I mean, it looks okay. But, you know, sneak peek previews never look good.
Right.
It's always like some random clip of the movie, and it's like, okay. Where's the next Hallmark Mahogany movie? We haven't had
This
one of those
month.
in a minute. Oh, in February?
A Nashville Legacy is the next Hallmark Mahogany film, and it will air on Sunday, February 26th at 9 p.m. So I previously misspoke. There will be 5 Hallmark movies plus 1 Hallmark Movies and Mystery.
It's going to be a busy February for Girls Gone Hallmark.
We may make the executive decision to swap grilling season for the Hallmark original. Weigh in, Megan and Wendy at gmail.com, or hop into our Facebook group and let us know what you think about that.
That's right.
Let's hear a synopsis of Glacier National Park.
Blah, 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 blah.
Yes, ma'am.
That title is so long. Okay. An avalanche forecasting expert brings her new technology to Glacier National Park, where she faces pushback from the director of mountain rescue, who's trained in intuition and common sense. Trained in intuition and common sense.
You can't see it, but my eyes are rolling.
Wow.
Before we do news and notes, I wanted to say I have speculated that based on the title of this movie, Love in Glacier National, a national park romance, that they've left this open for future national park romance installments.
Give me an example of the next title.
A Geyser of Love, a national park romance.
Geyser of Love! Shit. I was thinking more like, I wanted to make like a Yogi Bear Jellystone park.
Hey, boo boo, a national park romance. Yeah. Love in the Acadia Leaves, a national park romance.
Was
Acadia National Park in Maine, the leaves famously turn. It's beautiful.
Oh,
it's a leaf peeping destination.
Leaf peeping.
That's the word.
Oh my God. Call us, Hallmark. Megan's got a whole bunch of titles for you.
I don't know why we don't work for them yet. Speaking of national parks, this movie was filmed in Fernie, British Columbia, which is 4 hours from Glacier National Park, not actually within GNP.
I heard that, and this is like a did you see that? I'm just gonna slide in right here. In this bedroom, Samantha's the young child, the girl in this movie. They had all these like Fernie posters.
Well, it's a real place.
I know that, but they're not supposed to be in Fernie.
They are supposed to be in Fernie. They call it Fernie 9 billion times.
Then what the hell is Glacier National Park then?
They're just pretending like Fernie's in Glacier National Park.
Oh my God,
as far
it's
as
so
I can.
confusing.
But they are in Fernie. They say Fernie many times.
Fine. I stand corrected. It's fine. I also read that people were like really kind of pissed off because they're like, there is the thing that you ride when you're a skier and you ride.
Ski lift?
There's no ski lifts in national parks, apparently.
Well, it's not in a national park.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So people were like, it's not realistic. I mean, come on. At least we got real snow.
At least we got real snow.
All right. They also filmed at Fernie Alpine Resort. The, interior stuff. According to an interview with Christy Will Wolf, who was the director and EP of this movie, they filmed in negative 20 degree Fahrenheit weather. And the biggest challenge was making sure that everybody stayed safe and healthy while they were shooting. I mean, Megan and I went to Denver in December and it was 20 degrees Maybe
Yeah,
at the coldest it was
Maybe
20.
it was 15 degrees.
And that was really freaking cold. I can't imagine negative 20.
Yeah. I think at some point it all becomes kind of like zeros out.
Oh, yeah. Just cold is cold.
Just cold is cold.
Got it.
So speaking of Fernie, according to an interview with Stephen Huszar, it is one of the most avalanche-prone hills in the Rockies and even in the world. And it has some of the most snow accumulation over the actual ski season. All this was filmed prior to the opening of the ski season.
Got it. You know what's kind of funny is like now he's now become the avalanche expert. You know, we're getting his news on avalanche per the actor, mountain rescue person. It's what's it called?
Life imitating art.
That's it. That's what I was trying to remember. Yeah. Ashely Newbrough? Newbrough. She's new to me. She's totally new to me, but not to Hallmark. I know you said a couple episodes ago that you watched Christmas movies with her. She has been in movies like Christmas for Keeps. Is that one you watched?
I did. It's a great one.
As well as 5 episodes of the ABC series Mistresses.
She also starred in a show called Privileged on the CW with Lucy Hale and Joanna Garcia, a show that I watched and loved.
Oh, really? Do you remember her from
I don't remember what her role is, but it's essentially a nanny comes to this house of these 2 really privileged, like tween teenage girls.
Oh.
And then, so she may be one of the girls. Joanna Garcia plays the nanny. Lucy Hale's one of the sisters. So I assume Ashely Newbrough is the other sister.
I would 100% watch that. I wonder if it's available to stream.
And it's only,
somewhere.
I believe it was
One
only
season?
ever one season.
bummer.
Yeah. Is it streaming? Don't know, but I enjoyed that show.
Stephen Huszar
Yes.
was most recently in Undercover Christmas from last year. We did not cover it here on Girls Gone Hallmark. He also did 17 episodes of Chesapeake Shores, 12 episodes of Letterkenny, which is a show that Mr. One Tyler Hines participates in quite a bit. He has 60 acting credits. Quite a bit for a man I've never seen before.
Speaking of Stephen Huszar, who plays Chris, Amelie Wolf plays his daughter Samantha, and she is the daughter of director Christy Will Wolf, with 9 acting credits to her name, including Chasing Waterfalls.
Yeah, a lot of her mom's movies.
Yes.
About Christy Will.
Okay.
It's funny because she is sometimes billed as Christy Will Wolf and sometimes just Christy Will. In this movie, she was Christy Will. She won a Best Screenwriting Award at the Canadian Leo Awards in 2022. She has directed many movies I personally haven't liked. I don't think it's has anything to do with her. I can tell you for sure it doesn't have anything to do with her. But the common thread between them, I'm going to let you guys figure that out, is Where Your Heart Belongs, Warming Up to You, Chasing Waterfalls, Don't Forget I Love You. One does not belong with the other, guys. You know, Where Your Heart Belongs has Jen Lilly in it. The others have Cindy Busby.
There is no writer credited anywhere for this movie. I checked IMDb. I checked the press release. I checked tagged Instagram posts from Christy Will Wolf and others. And there is no reference to a writer for this movie. So if you know who wrote this movie.
I do know who wrote it.
Really?
Well, because I stumbled across the same information as you did. So it went back to the credits to watch at the beginning. And it was written by Keith Hemstreet. It's his 3rd writing credit. Other movies include Noel Next Door and The Most Colorful Time of the Year.
Well, Keith Hemstreet got robbed because he's not credited in a number of places where he should be.
I know. I don't know maybe he doesn't have an assistant who puts his work into IMDb. I don't know. I have one last little note about this movie. Devin Alexander plays Eric, and he's been in a ton of Christy Will, sometimes Wolf movies.
Okay.
Like so many of them.
So she likes one Mr. Alexander.
Yes, and I say justice.
Absolutely. I would love him as a lead.
He's so funny, nice to look at. Like, put this guy as a lead in a movie. Like, I don't get it.
Are you ready to discuss your first impression of the longest title ever?
I am.
Go ahead.
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
I think I might have fallen above my head because, spoiler alert, I'm one of the few who like this movie. I'm just going to hide here in the corner now. Everybody don't mind me.
My first impression is I have to retract my previous statements about this movie.
What did you say?
Well, I said I was so excited about this movie and it was going to be great.
You were super hyped for it.
I was.
I was not.
No.
So in a weird
Freaky Friday.
Freaky Friday. Yes. Let's talk.
With that said, let's start with what's good. Let's compliment sandwich this.
Okay. I'm going to start with like the easy. This scenery was stunning.
Totally. The mountains are gorgeous.
I have questions about avalanches. How often do they happen?
A lot.
Like it's like a tree falls in a forest. Like you just don't know. Like it just happens. Because you only hear like when there's some sort of like somebody gets hurt in one.
Most avalanches occur in the backcountry outside the boundaries of developed ski areas. There's a frequency of 0.88 avalanches per square kilometer per year.
That's too much math for me.
I think a reputable ski resort is not going to build a ski run in the middle of an avalanche-prone area.
Oh, I would hope not. But those two were like sitting on a bench and wasn't like an avalanche happening. And they're like, oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Like it just happens like that.
I mean, that could have been footage from something else. But yeah, I think so.
So weird. Okay.
All right. Look, I said it before. I will say it again. I love Ashely Newbrough. I find her absolutely delightful. Mm-hmm. She is a highlight of this movie for me.
Agree.
She's so damn cute. She's so believable. I feel like she's just like embodies the role that she plays. She's incredibly pleasant to watch on screen.
Yeah, I agree. Totally.
Loved her.
She gives me real Denise Richards vibes.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, like young.
But she's
Denise
a better actress than Denise Richards.
Shots fired.
I will stop my Denise Richards slander.
I like her. Sorry. And I think Ashely I can't say her last name. Newbrough. I think she's a very good actor.
Me too.
Like, supernatural. I just really enjoyed watching her, just like you said.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would watch anything she's in going forward.
Totally.
Mm-hmm. I love little Samantha.
I'm shocked. I was, anytime we've got a child actor who has a significant role in one of these movies, my first thought is, I wonder what Wendy's going to have to say. You liked her.
She was adorable and sassy.
Totally.
I just loved it. I was here for it.
Yeah.
I thought she was so cute. I'm like, put her in more movies. She's real cute. Okay. Let me say this first. I thought the story as a whole was a little bit mediocre, but I did enjoy the dialogue. I felt like the conversations that especially like the sisters had between each other were conversations like we would have between each other. It wasn't like movie dialogue. So like there was a lot of like dude thrown around and stuff like that. So I liked that.
Yeah, great lines like Travis on Courtney.
Yes.
I liked the writing as well. And I suspect that some of the problems with the story had to do with editing more than writing. And we'll talk about that.
Okay. Yeah, for sure.
I really found the avalanche training scenes interesting. I liked that they were like having them dig through the snow and showing them what to do if you're trying to find a person. And
can I stop you there? When they were like sticking the pole into the ground, what if you were the person on the receiving end of that? Like, I know they're looking for me, but now they've just jabbed me with a pole.
Well, I hear you, but I think the issue is the pole probably has a rounded tip and you are wearing snow clothes. So it's not going to, it might be annoying.
Well, poke your eye out.
Oh, okay.
Please find me in the snow. What if it pokes through the clothes and then you have a real emergency on your hands because you're bleeding out all over the snow?
I'm going to imagine they've not created a sharp poker.
I need somebody to send us a voice memo or email us or something. Give us all the information on the avalanche snow poker.
Now, the avalanche training was not widely appreciated. There are some members of our Facebook group who didn't feel like that was necessary, but I think that's maybe a complaint about the movie as a whole, not about, like, that wasn't enough to save the movie for them.
I found it quite interesting.
Me too. The last thing I liked, I kind of like there's like multiple mentions of climate change and science prevailing and big fans of science and don't you believe in science? And I was like, yes, thank you to the progressive writer of this movie. Yeah. I enjoyed that.
Keith Hemstreet. Yes, I agree.
I'm ready for wishes because my list is long, man.
Is it? Okay, well, let's just talk about the first one. Chris is a complete dick.
Mine is that Chris wasn't such a jerk. It's tragic that your wife died, but the prediction system didn't kill her.
I had so many problems with him. Like, one, I couldn't even find him attractive because he was such an asshole. Mm-hmm. And in some scenes, he'd be, like, so nice, but, like, dude was not going to be convinced that there was a better way than his way. Mm-hmm. And that was infuriating because here it is. In contrast to that, she was like, show me your search and rescue methods. I'm here to learn for it. I want to see what, like, she was so open to him and he was so closed off. And I was like, red flag, red flag. Why are you into this dude who is completely dismissive of all the work that you put into this?
Yes. And her attitude was, I think our two methods can work together.
Right.
Let's use all of the tools in our arsenal to protect ourselves and prevent getting stuck in an avalanche. And he's like, this is the only way to do it. And because I wrote, for that matter, could he please STF you about hating Heather's prediction system? It's a tool. It doesn't replace humans, but works alongside them. And then when he had the information from the tool that an avalanche was imminent, he wasn't willing to test the snow himself because he didn't have time. Hello?
I wish she would have bounced at the end. Like, I didn't want her to be with this guy.
And yes, it is very tragic that his wife died because the prediction system didn't tell her there was an avalanche. But sir, she didn't test the snow. When they're telling the story, she did not do the tests. Mm-hmm. So your system is flawed too because it is run by humans and humans are not always going to make the best choice.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. I just hated the entire, like, he was so threatened by like her coming in, where it was like he could not see that like what she was offering was just something in addition to.
Yes, and I felt like this is going to be your whole life. He is going to feel like he knows the right way to do it, and there is no room for any other input about anything else, and you're just going to get run over.
Yeah, yeah. And it's not like she's some schlup. She's a doctor, you know? So, which then goes back to like, what bugs me a little bit is that he can't appreciate the science. You know what I mean? And I think if you look at a picture of a whole about like what's going on in our society right now, science versus like, you know, a lot of, right?
And then the next election, they're going to get in a big fight. And then she's going to be like, what have I done with my life? I'm married to this guy and our values don't align at all.
Yes. Yes.
Here's what I wished for.
Okay.
This is a smaller one. That poor Sonia wasn't portrayed as this needy chick who couldn't take a hint. Much of this movie felt like the Hallmark of yesteryear.
Oh, interesting. Her storyline was really weird to me. And I first, like, when Heather and Chris run into each other at the massage place or whatever, and Sonia comes out behind him and, like, fully, like, really gives Heather, like, the up and down and, like, very territorial over Chris, right? And I was like, oh, that's interesting. Like, is that something that would be normal for Hallmark in years past? Like,
I don't know about that. I just felt like the blatant, I don't feel like Sonia portrayed a real person. Like, are real people acting? She was like Claire Arnold, who like couldn't take a hint, who like showed up at Brandon's house.
Oh, Claire Arnold when she was in high school.
Yes.
Still. Yeah.
I feel like this actress, he made it clear that he wasn't interested. She's a pretty lady. She doesn't need him. Mm-hmm. Move on.
Yeah, it was kind of weird, right?
I mean, the problem was I didn't like her in this movie. And I was thinking about why I didn't like her, and I'm blaming the story because
they made this like
she was
desperate.
Yes. I don't like it.
Yeah, it was weird, like how she like showed up at their house to crash. Like that was just,
come on.
Yeah.
It's 100% Claire Arnold handcuffing herself to Brandon's bed.
Guys,
and he sleeps downstairs on the couch.
No, if you don't,
I just watched that episode last night.
Reference.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't like Sonia either, and I felt that her storyline was not needed. They didn't. He could have just been like a single dad who's working real hard still, and like lost his wife. He didn't need to like have some, you know, like date gone wrong or whatever.
1,000%.
And first of all, if you're dating your massage therapist, you don't, it just is like weird. Like, don't cross that line, dude. Like, it just is weird because you're in a very, massaging seems very intimate, right? And if you've taken this woman out and then decided that you don't really like her, don't go back for a...
That's an excellent point. Don't put her in the position when you know she's into you.
Right.
Find another massage therapist in this resort spa.
And now, if I could just mention here the whole cross-country ski race between Sonia and
was that
Heather.
hijinks at its finest with the music?
It was so bad. just the way it was even shot, because it was like waist up at some points and then like waist down. Like you see their legs moving and you see their arms moving. And I'm like, what is happening?
I know.
What is happening? Well, and then the sisters all go sit. It just, oh my God, what is the point with it? Who wins what? Do you win, Chris? If you win the cross country race?
I'm the faster cross country skier. Pick me.
It just was weird.
Okay, well, you saying that Sonia's storyline was not necessary solves this next problem, which for me is, what the hell happened to Riley? Her story is so unfinished.
Yes.
She takes the pregnancy test. It's negative, and then we hear nothing else.
I know.
There's no resolution. She doesn't even have a conversation with her sister about it. She doesn't have a conversation with her husband about it. There's no, like, what are our next steps? There's so much room for that. That story is so much more interesting than this dumb competition story from this masseuse. Cut all of that and give Riley a complete story, or don't start her story at all.
Right.
But they didn't finish it. Oh, she's not pregnant. Okay.
I was waiting, like, at the end to have like a 1 year later and she there with like a baby or something, and it was just over. Well, I was like, why did they totally leave her hanging out
or
here?
They've adopted, because I thought that scene with her and Samantha, they made snow angels and they're in the hot tub. That was very sweet.
Yes.
And I thought, maybe she'll be like, well, maybe we should adopt an older child or we should foster, we don't need to have a baby.
Right.
But they completely left that story hanging.
So do you think it got cut?
Yes.
Edit. Yeah.
I do.
But how do you like watch the movie and go, we're just going to leave it like that?
That negative pregnancy test feels like enough of a resolution to me. She's not pregnant. Like, they started with, they've done IVF. They're waiting on the results. She's not pregnant. The end.
I will say I was quite sad when they showed her negative.
I was like, by herself?
Yeah. I like felt it deeply, like for her. I was so sad. And then to have no resolution after that, like nothing.
She deserved better.
I agree.
Well, do you have any more wishes? I do.
Okay.
I wish that Chris, Super Hot Mountain Man, would get some game and not let his tween do all of the matchmaking for him.
Oh, yeah.
She doesn't need to ask her out. Ask her to the dumb fundraiser.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I agree. I just love the daughter so much. She
Me
was
too.
So cute. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
Okay. It's time for Did You See That?
I have quite a few. Quite a few. My first one is, I'm going to give credit to Facebook group member Mike for pointing out, with pictures, by the way, in our Facebook group, that when they went to go do their avalanche training, they got onto a helicopter, which I'm like, whoa, budget for a helicopter here. Okay. At one point, they have this like luggage rack that's full. And then when the helicopter is taking off, the luggage rack is empty.
Another Did You See That I yoinked from IMDb is that when they get in that helicopter, 5 people go up, but 6 come out.
Shut up.
Now, again, this is an IMDb moment, but that's what they say.
Shut up. Mistakes. That's funny. In that scene, at his class, do you think the other people in his class or his experience or whatever he was training, and they were like sharing why they were doing, do you think those were real people?
I felt like real people.
Right?
They did not feel like actors.
They looked like normal people.
Yeah, telling the story of their daughters getting stuck and how I want to.
So I wondered if they were like, yo, we're in Fernie or wherever they were at. And they're like, hey, have you ever had this experience? We're looking for people to share their story here or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, because they were working with actual avalanche rescue dogs, actual avalanche rescue teams. So, maybe we'll give you this training in exchange for appearing in these scenes.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. Here's a funny one. The sisters, Riley and Heather, are in like the jacuzzi pre-spa appointment.
Yeah.
And they're drinking out of like plastic glasses. Tip it up. There's a tag on the bottom of it. Yep. Like a price tag. Yep.
Also, according to IMDb, Ashely Newbrough sports the first bikini on a Hallmark movie.
Get out. Body be banging.
Right? I was like, yeah, I'd get in a bikini too to get in that. If that were me in that scene, you'd have to cut from the robe to me under the blanket. Would absolutely not allow the in-between climbing into bed shot, which nobody can make look good except Ashely Newbrough.
So funny. That was funny. There were so many people, especially a guy at the beginning who had like red freezer burn on his face. This is why I think these people are like local, because it's so freaking cold there. And you know how red my face got when we were in Denver. Like
the wind and the cold.
Yes. I was like aching for them to put like a thick...
So slug their face.
Please slug your face. And if you guys don't know what we're talking about, I'm going to leave a link to our Megan and Wendy episode.
Yeah. Hey, so I need to talk about the auction.
Okay.
What a mess. Chris says anybody who donates over $500 will earn this experience. And then they start doing a live auction of what exactly? You have negated the points. If you don't, these are two separate things. If you're doing a live auction, it should be for one thing. And the person who bids the most wins the thing.
I was wondering the same thing.
If you want to say a $500 donation to our organization will earn you the reward, that's a different thing. But it was very, okay, so now you said anybody can get it, but now I think we were meant to believe like this person's paying $500 for it, this person's paying $1,000 for it, this person's paying $2,000 for it. These people have never been to an auction. Like, auction something else off.
Yeah, I was like, what is
a private day of skiing? Meet the avalanche dogs. Oh, I would bid for that.
Yeah, me
Come on.
That was confusing. Also confusing was the talk of IVF. I don't know if you caught it, is when Riley and Heather are out to dinner. And it was quite funny. They were talking about her husband's swimmers, and they put the swimmers in there and like whatever. That is not technically in vitro fertilization.
Yeah, it's IUI. They did say IVF.
Yes. And maybe, science. We don't want to get into the weeds about it, so we're just going to skim over that. Just like the DNA talk of...
Yes, because IVF, they'd be implanting a previously fertilized embryo.
Yes, ma'am.
An IUI, then we got to root for the swimmers.
Yes. I did think it was quite funny, the waiter's reaction. More water. Yeah. Pretty damn funny. Finally, for me, it's just a question. They were on like that snow cat thing. And I'm not familiar with those machines. I think they like plow snow or they get you through the snow or something. Is that the machine that Jeremy Renner?
I thought he was on a snowplow. Jeremy Renner was injured by a snowplow while trying to save nephew. Actor was attempting to stop a 6-ton vehicle from hitting his relative after getting out without applying the emergency brake.
Yikes. Well, whatever. If one of those, I don't know.
But it's huge. He had used the snowplow to tow his nephew's truck out of the snow. After getting out without setting the brake, he attempted to stop the plow sliding toward his nephew.
So you think we're looking at a similar type of...
a large vehicle that ran.
Yikesies. Okay, I was just wondering.
Are you ready to rate GNP?
Sure. Yeah.
I give it a 2.75 star.
I gave it 3.
Oh.
I gotta tell, I kind of liked it. When it was over, I was like, it was like educational and interesting. But there was a lot of like things I didn't like about it. But
overall, it was an enjoyable experience.
Yeah.
Well, next week we will be back with a review of Sweeter Than Chocolate. And tomorrow we will be back with our recap of The Way Home, episode 3. Thanks for listening to this episode of Girls Gone Hallmark. Before you go, don't forget, stop, don't click away.
We need your reviews.
Please, 5 stars, ratings, and reviews in the Apple Podcast app. We appreciate you. Goodbye.
Bye.